Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
Let's see if this will work. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Hello, Chapo. I was recently informed by a very drunk old man on the streets of Osaka, Japan, that my apartment is located about 2 blocks away from an Aikido dojo owned by Steven Seagal and operated by his son. I have been able to confirm that this is correct. Should I begin studying the way of Aikido? What do y'all think?
You will be human trafficked. You will have your organs harvested. Do not do this. You're going to go in there for some sparring and you're going to wake up in a fucking bathtub filled with ice cubes in Moldova on a fucking steamship.
I disagree with Matt. I'm saying if you just discovered that you were that close to an Aikido master and have the opportunity to train in the way of Aikido with Steven Seagal and or his son, how could you not take advantage of that? If you I've got an apartment in Renaissance Italy and Leonardo da Vinci was giving classes next door to you, you're telling me you wouldn't check in, you wouldn't want to see what was on offer? Take the Aikido class and you can learn all of the fighting techniques for disarming an opponent while you're sitting in a chair.
Okay,
right.
fine.
I think only do this if you are prepared for the rest of your life to become a human weapon. Someone who, as Will said, is more dangerous sitting down and staying seated for 12, 13, 14 hours at a time than most people ever will standing. Only do this if, for the rest of your life, you want to wear safety goggles and the world's biggest leather jacket. And every time you meet an alarmingly younger woman, you save her from slavery. And you get to have full penetration sex without removing your hat, goggles, jacket, pants, Aikido belt, Aikido boots, tactical walking cane, or taking the yoo-hoo out of your pocket. Only do that if you're prepared for that life.
All right, that's what they're going to sell you on it. But you're going to go in there for one session, and then you're going to black out. You're going to wake up being parachuted over Kiev with a knife between your teeth in orders to kill Zelensky.
Okay,
You may that is possible. That is possible. Okay, you may be tasked to fight with an army that is losing to the Ukrainian Jimmy Fallon. That may be what happens to you.
Damn. Oh, Putin, BTF. Oh.
Well, speaking of Putin and Steven Seagal, listener, if we haven't sold you on joining Steven Seagal's Aikido dojo, then please do yourself a favor, go over to YouTube and search up Steven Seagal Russian martial arts exposition, and you will see some of the finest examples of elite martial art performance ever captured on film.
It's waves after waves of opponents. He dispatches with ease. It almost looks too easy.
I would say the fastest human I've ever seen.
It's
probably
amazing.
It's so fast that it almost looks like he's not moving
At all.
Yeah, doing like he's doing nothing.
Yeah, just standing there.
Yeah, it's a very advanced form of martial arts where if you just sort of stand there slightly slouched with a gormless look on your face, wave after wave of opponents will run at you, and then as soon as they make contact with your body, will just sort of crumple like toilet paper. They'll just fall to the ground as you sort of like limply wave your arm at them. I mean, that's what it would appear like to the untrained eye, but with Aikido training, you will realize. Yeah, you will realize the mastery of the way of the couch. All right, next question.
All right, this one's a little general, but I figure with the World Cup on, might
bloody footy, mate.
All right, here we go.
It's coming home.
Hey, not sure if you answered this question before, but what do you think the connection between sports and politics is, if there is one at all? Thanks.
None.
They're the same thing. They're teams to root for.
Wow. Yeah. Could you be a little less specific, listener?
Yeah.
I need something to sink my teeth into here. Well, the connection between sports and politics, I don't know. It's just, they say that, war is just politics by other means. Well, politics is just sports by other means.
It's basically Robot Jocks, if you've ever seen that film. Where it's the far future, and because of the mutual assured destruction, there's no more wars. Instead, countries settle their differences with guys in giant mech suits punching each other.
I mean, that sounds good to me. I mean, that's it. The World Cup would be a lot better if there were robots involved in it.
And if the match is determined geopolitical questions.
USA Iran tomorrow.
Like, okay,
dude,
we got can they get a nuke or not? If Iran wins, they should get a nuke.
That game would be so much more fun to watch if it would determine whether Iran can have a nuclear weapon or not.
Yes, I think we should all honor that, and that would make sports and politics finally come back together as one thing, and we can all just chill and let the robots pack us into herring crates.
Well, no, not just robots. These are robots with human beings at the control of it. It still comes down to the will and talent of the individual robot athlete or the robot driving athlete. I mean, I would say just further along on this thought, like sports are a necessary sort of safety valve to unleash the pressure caused by politics, because particularly among men. And strangers or someone you're meeting for the first time, or the guy at the bar, or you're meeting your girlfriend's parents or something like that. Politics, obviously that's it's risky terrain to engage on if you care about it or you root for a political outcome. I think sports exists as a terrain of conversation and relation between men in our society that is like the baseline that anyone can engage in and have and make small talk over. And yeah, there's competition involved, and you can sort of shit talk, and it provides a terrain of competition that is a stand-in for other forms of tribalism and competition in our society. But it allows a safe kind of meaningless baseline of, because essentially it doesn't matter who wins or loses. It's just something fun to talk about and invest your time in.
And have a team you root for. A very big part of it is second guessing. We basically made our careers on that. Just like Monday morning quarterbacking the Democratic Party for a while. Just like, look at what these idiots are doing. If you gave me the headset, oh boy, I'd run a hell of a play. I'd do the annexation of Puerto Rico from Little Giants, and we'd win the fucking game.
Hakeem Jeffries needs to put some more fucking speed in the slots.
I want to reiterate my original point. I think there's zero intersection between politics and sports. You can infer zero things about capital and next to nothing about culture, race relations, or gender. Next question.
Hello, Chapo boys. I am a human of the female variant, and I spend most of my time playing Valorant, hate watching late night shows, and listening to various so-called leftist podcasts. I am at least a 6, but I am still single. Every time I try to go on dates, I ruin them by getting drunk and talking about Cuba or explaining counter-strafes. How does a lady like me land a fuckable man? Thanks, guys.
I'll field this one.
Oh yes,
please. I've had sex, depending on what sanctioning body, 3/4 of one time or 1.25 times in my life. Look, men today, I'm assuming that you are, around 25, 24 years old. Me myself, I'm a millennial. I'm 49 years old. Back in 2015, it was easier to have sex. People had not been as taken over by smartphones and apps. Men today are more lonely, more cowed, more afraid of a forward woman. But if you are seeking not just sex, a meaningful relationship, it will end up in your life in the moment that you are looking for it the least. There will be a guy out there who is into a game that is significantly worse than Counter-Strike, significantly worse in every way, worse to play, less fun, the skins aren't as cool, and the movement sucks. He will not mind that you play Valorant instead of CSGO. He will be into politics. Maybe he even went to Cuba. That guy is out there, but this is just one of those things. When you're spending all your time looking for it, that is when it won't show up. Spiritually, I think literally you sound like a very nice woman. A lot of guys, I think, would be just jumping in line to date you. But spiritually, when you are looking for it, you are like one of those guys who wears an Armani Exchange shirt in the club and is just trawling around for pussy. Just walking with the Frankenstein walk, with his mouth open and his arms in front of him. And that is when it will come to you the least. But be patient, be yourself, and soon you will raise, regrettably, 2 to 3 Valorant players.
Yeah, to reiterate what Felix said, I mean, I know this works if you're a guy looking to attract women, but I assume it may work in similar ways for a woman looking to attract a man. But the surest fire way to be attracted to the opposite sex is to, and it's very hard to reverse engineer this, but it's to genuinely not care about being attracting another person, or just you don't need sex or romance or relationships.
The Tao of Steve, Donald Lowe, speaking up.
You're just yourself, and that tends to be when it comes to you. Actually, Chris and I we went out last night, went to a concert. It was Chris and Molly and me and Catherine and one of Chris and Molly's friends, and we were talking about along similar lines. And some guy at the bar overheard our conversation, sort of leaned in, and I said, I think he put it quite nicely. He said, "All romance is just fucking around and finding out." So you gotta be willing to to put your heart out there and risk it having be destroyed. But the true Tao, the way of the Bushido, is to already meditate upon having your heart be destroyed in the first place. Is just to not care. Think of yourself as already dead. And caller, one more point. I know you described yourself as a 6. Don't sell yourself short, and in fact, don't rate anyone on a 1 to 10 scale of desirability. Chances are you're a lot higher than that, but also all women are 10s.
Yeah.
So,
and I actually have a way more complex and nonlinear system for rating women.
Non-Euclidean woman rating system.
Yes. It involves calculus.
Her number is damn irrational.
Yeah. This girl has a cosin.
Anyway, you sound like a wonderful femoid, and I'm sure there's a guy out there for you.